Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Back to You podcast. Today I'm going to talk about something that I have never talked about before, which is relationships and how I've completely lost myself in relationships for as long as I can remember. I have shared on here my history with my family growing up, and I grew up with a mother who was never shown real love, was never shown healthy love, was never shown what it meant to be there for someone. She never knew a love where she felt safe to be herself. Her whole life, everything in her life was performative. So of course, that's the world that she knew. And that's the world that me and all my siblings grew up in, because that was what she knew. She couldn't teach us something that she didn't know. And so I went through my life always thinking I had to perform for love because I knew nothing else. And it's shown up in so many different areas of my life. Obviously, it's not just been within relationships, but it's been with the way that I go for things. I mean, it's made me the most driven fucking person. And if you know me, my stepmom always says this. She's like, if you have your mind set on something, there is nothing getting in your way. And if you want something to work, you will make it work. You will put everything that you can into it. And I translated that same energy into relationships. I stayed in relationships that were not serving me. I was in relationships where I was not being treated well. I was in relationships where I was giving everything to the point where I was self-abandoning myself and enabling their behavior. I was taking care of people. I was financially supporting people. I was allowing people to do things to me over and over and over again, or even just having conversations and holding them to a standard. And when they promised me or they would tell me that they're going to work on it, I would just attach to this potential of what they could be. It was always the potential of who they could be. And it was never about the person that was standing in front of me. And I thought that if I just acted a little bit different, if I was the person that could understand them a little bit deeper, if I was someone who could just show them the love that they'd never received, maybe, just maybe then they might meet me there. And it just kept me in this constant experience of just giving and performing. And it was so draining. And like, I've been with really incredible people, and also people who you know, really did not meet parts of themselves. And the beautiful part about that is it was reflecting where I was not meeting myself. And I would be so focused on how they were not meeting my needs and this void that I was allowing them to fill that I wasn't meeting. And I'm going through this separation right now. And every time I think about this person and I miss them and I wonder and I think about them, not only do I go to the fact that, well, if I was treated in a different way, I wouldn't have to wonder like this. You know, the partner that I really believe I'm meant to be with would never make me wonder, but also I also place myself in this space. So not only is it them, but it's also me. And it's been the greatest gift for me to show myself and really have life mirror back to me, where I've been allowing other people to fill a void and completely disempowering myself as a sovereign human being. And just looking and looking at all the conversations I would have where I would just feel like I was asking for needs to be met. But I'm like, why am I asking for someone else to meet my needs? Yes, there's a piece where there was repetitive behavior that just wasn't changing. And it was slowing down and having me look at the same repetitive behavior because I was in that cycle with myself. Yes, there's responsibility on that side to be taken, but where is mine? Why am I allowing people to treat me like this over and over again? This is showing me the way that I allow myself to receive things that I'm actually deserving of. to be in a space where I've recognized this is what I've seen love to be, something that I'm always striving for, something I'm always gripping for, something I'm always performing for. Like, what if there's a love for me where I don't have to do that? But to do that, I have to make that decision within myself, where I'm still performing for other people, where I'm still gripping and grasping and trying to control outcomes and not just allowing myself to serve the moment in front of me. I'm trying to create and make people the versions of them that I need them to be to fill the void within myself. And it's unfair on both sides to hold someone to a standard that they're not capable of reaching. And also simultaneously having this piece underneath of this desire that I feel like I need them to be at this standard. And to remember that even though I'm at that standard, not everyone's capable of being at that level. And that's not fair to hold people to that standard. Just allowing people to be, yes, we can have standards. I'm not saying don't have standards. But what I'm saying is when people aren't meeting those standards, it's not your responsibility to change them into who they need to be to meet that standard. Allow people to just be who they are without you changing them into who you need them to be. And if you have high standards, you need to act in alignment to them. What does it really mean for someone to have high standards like that? Or are you just holding this ultimatum to see and test and see if they can finally be that person? Just let them be who they are. These are conversations I kept having with myself over and over and over again, and realizing that in the separation that I'm in right now, I don't know if they're going to come back into my life. And it's not really my job or my responsibility. But I need to let the version of me that I was die. The one that needed to perform, the one that was gripping and reaching and trying to control every fucking outcome. And trying to hold someone to a standard that they weren't capable of, that they weren't doing themselves. Because I was just repeating the same behavior and pattern with love that I've known my entire life. That none of this ever had to do with my partner and everything to do with the relationship I had with my mom that was still living inside of me, the pattern that was still alive and asking for me to be seen, for that part of me, for me to see it, for me to love it, to fill that void, and stop allowing other people, stop handing my power to other people and saying, can you fill this for me? I've completely lost my power and disempowered myself with people because I'm not recognizing and taking ownership where I need to in relationship. Because yes, of course, I've been mistreated. I've been disrespected. I've had my feelings completely invalidated. I've had to beg for basic needs over and over and over again. That's not right. I've had myself been completely just disregarded. And I allowed it over and over and over again. Where's my ownership in that? Yes, there's a piece for them to take, of course. But where's my love? Where am I meeting my needs? Because if I placed a friend or one of my sisters or my siblings or my nieces or nephews in that situation, I would tell them completely different advice than the actions that I was taking. That shows me the misalignment. And to be the version of me that I really want to be, I act completely different than that. And I was not looking, the relationship was the last place I wanted to look. No, but I'm showing up for myself and following through in all these other areas, like I'm doing it all. Really? Everywhere? Are you truly being that human being in every moment that's unfolding in front of you? Are you serving the moment in front of you, or you're only trying to serve yourself? It's fucking hard choosing alignment because it makes you face the scariest things. It makes you face the parts of yourself that you've been so afraid to face, that have been asking to be seen your entire life. And why I'm making this is to urge you to just look at your relationships of where can you take ownership. Yes, people are fucking assholes. Yes, people are dicks. People invalidate you. People hurt you. But to know that that's their patterns they're dealing with, and to just put the focus on that and not look at where you can take ownership is such a disservice to what that experience is really trying to teach you and ignite inside of you and challenge inside of you to change. Because no matter if you go to another relationship, you're going to find the same fucking pattern because it's you. because you're choosing it. No fault of your own. But if you can look back and say, damn, what? Oh no. I really hope this is going to start recording in. Yes. Okay, perfect. I actually have to cut something because it disconnected my microphone from GarageBand. But my battery is dying, so this is my time to get out of here and to leave. But I hope that you take this as a moment just to look at ownership you can take within every single experience that's unfolding in front of you. All my love. I'll catch you on the next one.